guys, welcome back to our class. So, we are going to study the new chapter, that is structure of atom. Okay, so your three chapters are covered already, and you have only one chapter, that is what this is the remaining chapter, structure of atom. Okay, so we need to cover this chapter in this month itself. After that we will start our revision. Okay, so come to the point. In the chapter 3 we have learned that atoms and molecules are the fundamental building blocks of matter. Okay, atoms and molecules are the fundamental building blocks of matter. The existence of different kinds of matter is due to different atoms constituting them. Now the questions arise: what makes the atom of one element different from the atom of another element? This is the question. What makes the atom of one element different from the atom of another element means what makes the elements different each other. Okay, are the atoms really indivisible? You studied that in Dalton's atomic theory, atoms are indivisible particles. So here this is the question: are the atoms really indivisible as proposed by Dalton, or are there small constituents inside the atoms? This is the two questions in front of you. We shall find out the answers to these questions in this chapter. So throughout this chapter you should keep these two questions in your mind. Okay, first question is what makes the atoms of one element different from the atom of another element. Then next question is, are atoms really indivisible, or any subatomic particles are present in the atom? These two questions in front of you. We will learn about subatomic particles and the various models that have been proposed to explain how these particles are arranged within the atom. So what we are going to study? We are going to study about subatomic particle. You know it actually: electron, proton, neutron. This is what the subatomic particle. Subatomic particle means, yes, particles within the atoms. Okay, subatomic particles and different models or different models of atom to show how these subatomic particles are arranged in this atom. Okay, a major challenge before the scientists at the end of 19th century was to reveal the structure of atoms as well as to explain its important properties. Okay, the elucidation of the structure of atoms is based on a series of experiments. Okay, so we are just going to study the result of that experiment. Okay, we are not going to conduct an experiment, so you should keep in mind that this result is actually very valuable because this is done after a series of experiment. Okay, now one of the first indications that atoms are not indivisible. Okay, that is what the first thing you need to know, or you need to keep in mind, that atoms are not indivisible. Comes from studying static electricity and the condition under which electricity is conducted by different substances. So how we got this idea? This is getting from static electricity. You know what is electricity? How electricity is formed? Motion or moving of charged particle produces what? Electricity. So that means what? Charged particles are there. Where? Charged particles within the atom. That is what? Proton positive charge, neutron neutral charge, electron negative charge. Okay, so Dalton's atomic theory, the postulates is discarding here. Atoms are indivisible. That is what? Wrong. Atoms are divisible because there are subatomic particles present in the atom. Those are electrons, protons and neutrons. Okay, now charged particles in matter. We are going to study it. Okay, charged particle in matter. For understanding the nature of charged particle in matter, let us carry out follow following activities. Okay, you please read it in your own way. We are just going to the depth of this portion. Many scientists contributed in revealing the presence of charged particle in an atom. It was known by 1900 that the atom was not a simple, indivisible particle but contained at least one subatomic particle, the electron. Okay, first of all, only one subatomic particle is discovered, that is what? Electron. So which subatomic particle discovered? Electron is discovered by J.J. Thomson. Okay, even before the electron was identified, E. Goldstein in 1886 discovered already the presence of new radiations in a gas discharged and called themselves canal rays. That is what? Protons. Okay, so what is happened here? J.J. Thomson discovered electron, but before this discovery, protons are already discovered by E. Goldstein in 1886. Okay, so and he not named it as proton, but at that time that was known as canal rays. Okay, canal rays. These rays were positively charged radius, which ultimately led to the discovery of another subatomic particle. The subatomic particle had a charge equal in magnitude but opposite to the sign of the electron, and its mass was approximately 2,000 times as that of the electron. It was given by the name proton. Okay, so what is happening here? J.J. Thomson, once again I am saying J.J. Thomson discovered electron. Before that, E. Goldstein discovered discharge tube experiment. Through discharge tube experiment, by gas discharge, canal rays. Okay, a new radiation known as canal rays, and this canal rays having what? Positively charged particles, and that particles have mass 2000 times greater than that of the electron. Electron came from where? Yes, after discovery of J.J. Thomson, this canal ray studied very well, and at that time the scientists realized that what? The scientists realized that the canal ray is having positively charged particles, and that positively charged particles have 2000 times more mass than the mass of electron, and the electron have negative charge and this canal ray have positive charge. So the particles present in canal ray named as proton, represented as P. Okay, and the electron represented as E. Now the mass of proton is taken 1 unit. Okay, the mass of proton is taken as 1 unit and its charge as +1. The mass of an electron is considered to be negligible and its charge is -1. Why so? Because the mass of proton is taken 1 unit. Okay, mass of proton is taken as 1 unit because the mass of proton is 2000 times greater than that of the mass of what? Electron. That means electron's mass is very, 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 very smaller than proton, which is kept as 1. That means the electron's mass is very, very, very smaller than 1. So that's why we taken negligible mass for electron. But the charge is very significant. Proton have positive charge +1, electron have negative charge -1. Okay, it seemed highly likely that an atom was composed of protons and electrons mutually balancing their charges. Okay, proton is positive charge, electron is negative charge. Atom is balancing these charges because atom is neutral. It is also appeared that the protons were in the interior of atom. Protons were in the interior of atom, for whereas electrons cloud easily be peeled off but not proton. Means electrons can be yes, come out from an atom, but proton cannot. Okay, because proton is in the interior part of atom. You know that is what nucleus. Proton are situating in nucleus and electrons are revolving around the shell. You know it now, but at that time the scientists do not know how the protons and electrons are arranged. But they are understanding like this by using these assumptions. Protons are in the interior part and clouds are outside the atom, means in the exterior portion of the atom, and they can be peeled, but proton cannot be taken out of from an atom. Such kind of assumptions were arose at that time. Okay, now the big question was, what sort of the structure did these particles of the atom form? Means how these particles form structure, or how these particles altogether give the structure for an atom. We will find the answer to these questions below. So here two questions are for you. What are canal rays? If an atom contains one electron and one proton, will it carry any charge or not? What are canal rays? Canal rays are the rays having positively charged particles, and it is coming from gas discharge experiment by E. Goldstein, conducted by E. Goldstein. Okay, now if the atom contains one electron and one proton, will it carry charge or not? No, definitely no, because one positive charge and one negative charge, both are balancing each other, cancel each other, and the atom will be neutral since it have same number of negative charge and same number of positive charge. Okay, now let's move to the portion, the structure of an atom. Okay, we have learned Dalton's atomic theory in chapter 3, which suggested that the atom was indivisible and indestructible. What is indivisible? Yes, we cannot see with our naked eyes, we cannot divide it into furthermore, but the discovery of two fundamental particles, electrons and protons, inside the atom led to failure of this aspect of Dalton's atomic theory. Okay, so after finding electron and proton, the postulate of this theory, which postulate atoms are indivisible particle, this postulate is discarded. Okay, it was then considered necessary to know how electrons and protons are arranged within atom. Okay, for explaining this, many scientists proposed various atomic models. J.J. Thomson, whenever you listen this name, you please remember J.J. Thomson. He found the electron. Okay, J.J. Thomson was the first one who proposed a model for the structure of an atom known as watermelon model of atom or plum pudding model of atom. Okay, Thomson model of atom, he given the first attempt to give structure of atom. Okay, and that is known as plum pudding model of atom or watermelon model of atom, so on. Now let's move through what the Thomson's model of atom, how it is. Thomson proposed the model of an atom similar to that of the Christmas pudding. That's why it is known as plum pudding model of atom. Okay, a cake having plums in it. Please think that suppose you have a cake having plums in it, means a plum cake. So the plum stands for electrons. Okay, and the entire body of the cake stands for positive sphere, because an atom have positive charge and negative charge. So he have to distribute the positive and negative charges in an atom. So for that he found, or he given a structure for the atom just like plum pudding model of atom. Okay, or watermelon. Suppose watermelon, the red part is what? Positively part, and the seeds are stands for what? Electrons. So that is what plum pudding watermelon model of atom. That is the same for the of this model, that is Thomson model of atom. Okay, so the electrons in a sphere of positive charges were likely currents dry fruit in a spherical Christmas pudding, so on. So we can also think of a watermelon. The positive charge in the atom is spread all over like the red edible part of the watermelon, while the electrons are studded in positively charged sphere like the seeds in watermelon. Okay, what I have told you already. Now, Thomson proposed that an atom consists of a positively charged sphere and the electrons are embedded in it. Okay, atom consists of a positively charged sphere and the electrons are embedded in it. The negative and positive charges are equal in the negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude, so the atom as whole is electrically neutral. Okay, means one positive then one negative. So he explained that what Thomson's model explained that atoms are electrically neutral. The result of experiment carried out by other scientists could not be explained by this model. Okay, that means we will study in our next class. The next model of atom we will study in our next class. So you please remember the only first model of atom, that is Thomson model of an atom, and the postulates or he proposed the theory, two theories. Atom consists of positively charged sphere, electrons are embedded in it, negative and positive charges are equal in magnitude, so the atom whole is electrically neutral. Have a nice day. If you have any doubt, please contact. Bye bye.